after the Tony. What's going on? I can't perform like this. I can't perform like this. You know what I mean? There's this strange pressure from Dead Dodge Garage, and I can't live without the exclusivity that I feel as if I've earned. No, I'm totally kidding. What's going on, people? How's everybody? How'd the week treat you? We've got Danny Boyd in the chat. Steve Austin is in the chat going, ha! Olive Drab at Zero's in the chat. Dickie Farley's in the chat. Dada Libreton in the chat. Dakota's timeout. Dickie Farley. What's going on, people? How's everybody? Dakota, I was just being an ass. I was enjoying myself on Tony's live stream complaining. Ad Zero saying happy Sunday. Happy Sunday indeed, people. How has this Sunday treated everyone? Try to get this. I'm using the carburetor. The carburetor as my phone stand again here. Mopar Man 1978 saying Portageon. Unfinished projects in the chat saying Neptune Green. Dakota, no, I did not see your Pontiac aluminum. Or wait, no, were those the Speedway heads, Dakota? I might have seen the video. Brian M's in the chat. Brian, I saw your picture earlier, man. That smoked beef looked unreal. Paul Pidgewey's in the chat. Howdy, Paul. Charlie Roma. What's going on, brother? Cat, they're asking about you. Come on. Be seen. Cat. Unfinished project. I was just Tony was promoting Dead Dodge Garage's live stream, which is great, and I was like, oh, I was wondering why my show had been slower, but yeah, I was just being an ass. Envious Creations Car Club is in the chat. What's going on, brother? How are you? Oh, Brian M. Yes, this is actually Hubie's cat. Come to think of it. Come on, cat. Everyone wants to see you. Don't make me grab you. Buff Del Campo is here, but eating tacos. Foggy's in the chat. What's going on, brother? How are you? Yeah, I'm sleepy tonight, guys. I got back from Vegas not too long ago. I ran a few errands, but I was gonna use, my faux outrage and saying that I can't perform under these conditions as an excuse to not go live, but I decided against it. I figure I might as well come talk with everybody. Chris Cadman's in the chat. Mexican Spec saying, does UTG usually send you? What does UTG usually send you for Christmas? I want to know what I'm missing out on. Mexican Spec last year he sent some really nice food and stuff actually. But I've been needing to bug them for an I Hate Cars shirt, but I really don't like asking them for things. Oh, Buff, Kim made Buff some tacos. Nice. Brian M, I think I won in Vegas. I didn't lose much. I didn't lose much anything. Donna Lebreton is saying, oh, the cat's probably rehearsing for Cat in the Hat too. Leave him alone. Mike N's in the chat, reporting in as ordered. What's going on, Mike? Chris Cadman saying mud cake. Olive saying, Tony trying to get rid of stuff might help your Mopar project. Maybe. You know what's sad, Olive, is I have so many, most of the parts I need. At this point, it's, I need a fuel tank, some consumables, and fluids, and I should be all right pretty much on that project. Of course, whatever else will come up, I'm sure there'll be something else. But a lot of what I need is just real basic consumable stuff, so I'm not too worried about that. I need to get a wheel drum well, a hub slash drum. It's both on the dart because I gave at zero one of the ones I had because he was rolling around on a cracked drum. But you know what I mean. I'm pretty close. I just need to actually get into the damn project. Having a place to work would be kind of great, but Tony just uploaded a video about that. I need to watch it. Dakota saying ask for it, Ari. They can give you the one the dog ate half of. Buff Del Campo saying I ate 2 tacos and there are 2 more. I'm full already. I guess I'll eat until I'm tired, not full. Unfinished saying, Max, I'm fabulous, missing out on sleep, but I've got a turkey in the oven. Nice, man. Olive saying, I tend to get about 10 minutes into things Tony puts up Sundays before the live comes on. Yeah, pretty much. At Zero saying, I have a swedge guy now. New drums coming soon. Nice. Yeah, at Zero, I think Damien from Damien Mopar's Mustangs and Minivans offered me one of the old front hubs off of his Dart because he converted to disc brakes, if I'm not mistaken. So he offered me one, and I mean it would work for the time being. I'm not picky about it, and plus you needed it more than I did, so I'm glad you have the one. Mexican Spec saying I didn't have turkey for Thanksgiving. No guajolote. Ad Zero saying Jerry's Auto and HB. I'm unenlightened, Ad Zero. You know, I went to May Tire at Zero, and I don't know if it was like under new management or what, but it wasn't cheap anymore. Unfinished, I swear by that. Unfinished project saying the trick to buying turkeys to buy it after Thanksgiving, half price. That goes for everything. You know what I mean? You can find a rib roast cheap, ham cheap, turkey, game hens, all kinds of it, just dirt cheap right after the holidays. All I'm saying, I'm gonna pretend I could win Vice Grip Garage's giveaway duster for a while. Almost forgot to enter. You gotta win. We need you to get another duster. You're the old Pizza Hut on Beach. I'd have to think about it. At Zero. Chris Cabin saying, is the turkey flapping around in the oven? I usually keep them in a pen. Paul Pajui saying, Buff, don't fall asleep after eating your tacos. Mexican Spec saying, unfinished project. They sell a lot of turkeys here for Christmas, so that doesn't work here. Plus, there is no Thanksgiving. Unfinished is saying, I got a turkey and spiral cut ham. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if it was last year or year before last. I ended up getting a rib roast for like the price of a couple steaks damn near, and it was pretty amazing. I did a Cote de Buff with it, I think, with some herb butter, and it came out really good. Brian saying he bought parts there as well. Nice. Before Slater heading south, left side, Jerry's Discount Auto, been there for decades. Decades, as the natives say. Mopar Man saying no jive ass turkeys. Hold on, let me see. I think I got a thumbprint on this camera here. Sorry, I'm sorry. It's a little better. I guess you guys don't really need to see me clearly. It's not really a good thing. Oh man. But yeah, decent weekend. Just got back today. Made decent time. No weird traffic or nothing. And I'm pretty dang sleepy, guys. I was very tempted to cancel the show, but I really don't like doing that. I'd rather sit here and rap at you guys a little bit tired than cancel it altogether. Unfinished project saying I'm getting ready to head out and check on my goats. Babies have been flying out. Reverend Randall's in the chat saying, smash that like, peeps. Thanks, Randall. Mexican Specs saying, Ari DeBernia, how is Vegas these days? I haven't been there since 1999. I live there. Mexican Spec, it's, the same as always. Just they're always building. It's up and coming. Lots of cool stuff. I was downtown mostly. Brian M. saying, asking if I need a Red Bull. Not quite, man. But I don't know, man. Vegas is always cool to me. I get a kick out of the place. I like that. Like every square inch of it is trying to like make a dollar off of you. That's pretty admirable to me. Uh, Buff, I think that's just an old cable wire, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. Like it could be running taps on me for all I know. Paul Pajuli, it's about a 4-hour drive, but generally getting out there and back, depending on the weekend, it'll take me around 5. Like I headed out Thursday night, and I left here pretty late, but I got to Vegas right around almost midnight. Yeah, it's not too bad of a drive depending on traffic. Last year we went out there and there was an overturned semi on Highway 15, and it took us 10 hours to get there. It was either just turn around and go home or keep on trucking. And there's nothing out there, nothing at all. It's just the desert. So it we ended up having it took us 10 hours to get there. It was quite the experience. At Zero saying the Green Mile is on. Nothing cheers me up like the Green Mile. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing story. Good book too. Unfinished Project saying, holy cow, I'd stay home. Yeah, pretty much. Reverend Randall saying, it takes me that long to get from western Kansas to Denver, 6 to Kansas City. Yeah, I mean, it's not, it's not an unreasonable amount of time to be driving. It's funny that, you know what I mean, without odd conditions, construction, excessive traffic, and everything else, you can get there in 4 hours, but sometimes it just doesn't happen. Mexican Spec saying Vegas is great to visit, but it's hard life to live there. I could imagine it's just always going. Chris Cameron saying, I went to the house down the street for Thanksgiving. They threatened to call the police. I don't know them, but they aren't friendly. Mexican Spec saying, my dad made it LA to Vegas in 2.5 hours in a 1996 Cadillac STS. I couldn't keep up in my 94 Z28 convertible. There was a Grand Marquis on his ass the whole way. Unfinished Project saying a glue truck overturned and he was stuck in traffic. Jason's Garage is in the chat. What's going on, brother? Brian M. No, we usually stop at Peggy Sue's on the way back, but we didn't get a chance this time. We already ate. I saw there was a Cracker Barrel. There was a Cracker Barrel out there in Las Vegas. We stopped there. We got some breakfast at the Cracker Barrel. Mopar Man saying Vegas is where people like you come to blow their nest egg. He averaged 150 miles per hour on that trip. Yeah, I do not drive that fast. Reverend Randall saying, yep, drove a truck on all 48. Vegas had grown since I was there last. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just going up, and they're always building something. It's it's kind of funny, like just how much the little stuff can make a difference in how much time you make on those drives. One lane being down, little stuff like that. But when it took us 10 hours to get there, it was just stopped. And the traffic just absolutely stopped. And we didn't find out about this until we were in the middle of nowhere. So it was like, do we turn around and call it a wash? Do we keep going? Will the traffic clear up? Sure enough, 10 hours later, we got there, So I guess it was worth it. Chris Sanders is in the chat. What's going on, Chris? How are you, man? Brian's jealous. Dakota is asking if prostitution is legal in Nevada. Home Depot 18-wheeler prostitution advertisement. And yeah, I believe so, Dakota. I think it's like it's not necessarily. I'm fairly certain it's legal. It's just kind of one of those gray zone laws. You know what I mean? There's certain guidelines you got to go by. At zero saying we got stuck once coming back, accident, turn off car. We started sharing our beers with new neighbors. Beach ball volleyball by Zizix. The sunset. Mexican spec saying my car shut down at 106 because it was a convertible. Oh, Mopar Man's quoting Vegas vacation. Mike Hen saying Dakota's hanging a for sale sign in his front yard right now. Buff Del Campo saying back in the early 70s, I went from Vegas to the California border 100 miles per hour the whole way in a 62 Ford Galaxy. No speed limit then. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying hello to everybody. What's going on, Nathan? Daniel Strayer saying Carson County. Yeah. Donna Lebreton saying, all right, everyone has a picture or a big decal on their wall. Make it priority, or I'll send you a nice pic of my cat. Dead Dodge Garage has a Dodge sticker, top a closet. Tony has a chopper cross. I do need something back there. That's why I call it my dingy and opaque office. But Dave Lewis is saying, I almost grabbed a flight to Vegas this weekend for the open wheel shootout. I'm on Enlightened, Dave, but that would have been cool, man. Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab. What's going on, Dr. Art? How are you, brother? Daniel Strayer saying Carson counties where prostitution is legal. I guess so. I'm not very enlightened on all that. You know what I mean? I moonlighted as a lot lizard for some time, but those days are over for me. No, I'm kidding. I really don't know. Mexican spec saying Washoe County is legal. Yeah, I really don't know. Dave Lewis is saying 50,000 to win sprint car race. Had some friends racing. That makes sense, Dave. I saw a couple people trailering out some vintage sprint cars. Mike N saying Ari's background looks like Max Headroom. No, Max Legroom. Dickie Farley's laughing at me. Chris Sanders is asking, how's the truck doing? Truck's doing well. Truck's doing well. I need to go change the oil on it. I was trying to work up the energy tonight. I don't know if it'll happen, but I want to do it. I went and I got fancy. I splurged. I spent the extra $12 and got myself VR1 for the truck. I'm glad the Lincoln's still rolling though, Chris. Earth Tone Max Headroom. Buff Del Campo saying Nevada prostitution is legal in all but 2 counties. Nice. Unfinished Projects has got a pro tip. He's saying it's only legal if you get caught. All I'm saying, Vegas has like no interest to me if I can't go see Tony Bennett. You've got a great point there. Chris Cadman saying, what is a toothless male prostitute? A gummy bear. Justin Hill, what's going on, brother? How are you? Buff Del Campo saying, yeah, change your fluids. Chris Sanders is saying, just did an oil change this evening. We always use Castrol GTX high mileage and a quart of trans fluid. That doesn't sound bad at all. I like Castrol a lot. I usually get the Castrol Classic, the high zinc, but I would have had to order it, and I figured, why, just pay $7 more or whatever, and just get the VR1 now. Plus, VR1's good oil. It's fancy, a little too fancy for me, but it's good oil. Mexican Spec saying, now all I have to do is go to the gas station or the Dollar General for a crackhead and say, I like your Trans Am. My uncle had one just like it. Justin Hill saying Barrow's going to see you. That's right, he's down here right now, huh? I just got back from Vegas, Justin, so I didn't have a chance to call him yet, but hopefully I run into him before he takes off again. Add zero the Castrol Classic. It's the 2050 high zinc. All of a sudden, my Volvo likes the Castrol high mileage too. One of these days, I'll replace that cam seal. Man, I was trying to do some service on the lady's car, and she drives an older Corolla, and finding parts for that thing's kind of a pain in the ass. Like even the PCV hose is a special order. Um, what was it? The timing chain tensioner was special order. Dakota, you like my crackhead impression there? Beaker 138's in the chat. What's going on, brother? It's the unusual Vegas raspy voice. Paul Pajui saying I just bought 6 quarts of VR1 1030 for $36. That's not bad, Paul. I think I paid around that for 5, but I got the 2050 for the old truck. I really like. I prefer the thinner oil overall, but I feel like the amount of time I spent sitting in traffic or kind of running at higher temperatures, higher RPM. The thicker oil viscosity might help me out a little bit there. Yeah. What is that? Donna Leberton saying, does your junkyard fading away down from your place half of what we had around closed? Oh, yeah. Closed in the town, put a 200 cars max on the ones left. How can they keep going on? One car of each kind? Is it a trend? There's a few of them. I think there's a few still around out here, Darren, but they're few and far between, and none of them have older stuff. You know what I mean? It'll all be the oldest car would probably be maybe early 2000s, late 90s. But I'm certain, they're doing away with as many as they can out here. Chris Sanders saying I prime oil filter with carb cleaner every once in a while. Just a little flush. I get it. Olive saying I would really like an old Corolla or Celica to run around in. Hard to imagine that parts are hard to get. Gods know how many Corolla clutches my friends and I changed. Paul saying 2050 is good in the heat. Yeah, I mean it's always so. I mean it doesn't get that cold out here. The coldest morning's probably going to be high 30s, and I warmed the truck up. So I mean I don't see why not with the 2050. Dakota saying Dad runs 2050 and it's 390 Ford. Nice. Dean Stevenson's in the chat saying greetings from the netherworld. What's going on, Dean? How are you, brother? Danny Boyd saying thicker oil isn't better in the extreme cold, though. Yeah, Dan, I don't deal with any extreme cold, though. Dakota's got 1040 in the TA. I really like 1040. I was tempted to get the Lucas hot rod oil 1040, but I don't know. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying a lot less junkyards than there used to be. Nathan's got some great videos on junkyards at the junkyard. That's cool you get out there, Nathan. If anybody wants to share a link for one of his good videos. Paul's saying I got 35 psi oil pressure when hot with the 1030. I'll have to check it out. I think I got 1540 in there now, and I tend to linger around 50, 55 or 50 psi. At Zero saying, I wait till the frost is gone on the hood, then roll out. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just let her warm up for like 5 minutes or so. I got into the habit with that 6 cylinder because it just, that thing would choke if you didn't warm it up. It was a big old piece of cast iron. It needed some heat. Justin Hill saying, snow in Idaho. Yeah, I've been seeing that on Cousin Mike's channel. Olive saying Southern California standard weight oil is fine. Yeah, I mean, just the heavier oil is. I just like the heavier oil, Olive. Chris Cadman saying my coworker paid me to change the oil in his vet every 2 months. Out of the vet and into my truck. He was paying me to get a free oil change. Get rid of the junkyards. People have to buy newer cars if they can't find parts. It's all part of their plan. Planned obsolescence. Yeah, Dakota 55. Hot idle. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying, thanks, sorry, there were only a few good ones left. Yeah, but you always got some great videos on that stuff. What was it? Was it an Imperial you were looking at, or was it a Newport? It was one of the real fancy Mopars, but it was just rusted to sin. Cousin Mike is in the chat saying, I put asphalt in my motor. So thick, you'll never have problems. Basically, Mike. Chris Sanders saying, oil viscosity kind of depends on the specific tolerances of the engine. But with old wore out stuff, it's less important. Definitely, definitely. I always kind of prefer to run whatever it says on the cap, but with this older stuff, I give myself a little bit of leeway. Dan saying my 240 Big Six and my truck takes forever to warm up. Yep. Paul Pajui saying, I wish the Castrol Classic came in 1040. Me too. That'd be kind of cool. Or at least a 1540 would be nice. I usually buy Rotella, but it's either I buy, the 10 quart big jug or nothing. Because buying 4 quarts for 20, it used to be like 10, $12 for 4 quarts of Rotella. Now it's like 18 or 20. But but yeah, I've been kind of off the Rotella unless I buy the big jug. Dakota's timeout saying, any of y'all have aluminum heads on your hot rod? Do they warm up quicker than iron heads? I'm unenlightened, Dakota. I've never run aluminum heads. Yeah, all of the V8. The V8's really good. She's been running well. Like I said, I want to change the oil. I haven't even. I just threw it together and I've been running the damn thing. I haven't checked the plugs. I haven't done anything to it. So it's like I just need to actually get back in the habit of working on the damn truck. Hope our man saying, I wish I could do a video on the old salvage yard I go to, but the old fart won't let me. Donna Lebreton saying, for summer and hot weather, you need 1040. Here in North Canada, we still use it, but the engine clacks as much as our dentures at negative 20 Celsius. Justin the cat's good. He's lingering around here somewhere being lazy. Mike says it's fine. Shaved it today. Nada's saying 540 ZDDP additive in my 1.8 2ZZ. They like to wipe cams and grenade oil pumps. Yeah, I could see that. The 540, I mean, that's European blend, right? I mean, you could find Castrol, but it's a good weight. I mean, you need the thinner one, obviously. There you go, cat. Come on. They're asking about you, dude. Come on. Come on. Don't be a dick. Oh, you're an ass. I'll grab this cat. You've been asked about. Nope. 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 You do not hide from me. Oh, little bastard. Oh, being difficult. Cousin Mike saying, don't be a dumbass. Use a recommended oil. Seen too many engines destroyed because people think they know better. Yeah, yeah. I mean, usually, like I said, whatever it says on the cap, but it doesn't say anything on the cap for my 350. So, Ad Zero saying back when a nickel was a quarter. X-Conspect asking where Hubie's been. He was out. He was doing some family stuff. I think he was on out in the desert doing something cool. Yeah, Dakota, I drive it every day. I don't have another car to drive. I was using my dad's spare car, but he crashed his regular car, so he's been driving his spare car. So I've just been driving the truck, and she's been holding up well. I haven't had any real major, knock on some wood, haven't had any real major issues or nothing. Cat, say hi to everybody. Cat. But but yeah, I've been daily driving her, same as I used to. Chris Sanders is saying back when I first got the Lincoln, it was all sludged up. I filled it to the top of the valve cover with gasoline, ran it for 5 minutes. Kerosene worked the best to clean it out. See, that's one I'm kind of paranoid about. You know what I mean? Is thinning out oil. I mean, I'll do like Marvel Mystery, Seafoam, ATF, like you were talking about, but like the kerosene treatment, diesel, I've heard people use like that. That sounds pretty sketchy to me. If it works, it works. You know what I mean? I've heard a lot of people doing it. Ad Zero saying tonight's thumbnail was something to behold. You like that one? Not a saying Rotella T6, Toyota 2ZZ, the Celica GTS engine. Okay. All I'm saying, I think your 350 will still want 1040 if it's all good. LP94 is in the chat. Howdy, Lars. Cousin Mike joined the goggle gang. You guys got him to drink the goggle Kool-Aid. Ad Zero saying, well, my winter car is the summer car, which is also the only car. Dakota saying, that's great. Yeah, like I said, she's been treating me well. You know what I mean? It's the cat. No. The V8 helps a lot. You know what I mean? The extra power and everything else. And then the SM420 is a much better transmission than that old 3-speed I had. JB's Little Shops in the chat. Howdy, JB. I've heard so many Mexican mothers threaten to hit their kids. I want to save it. Hope our man's in BG oil additives are proven to work in all engines. Mix RF7 with MOA. Mix RF7 with MOA and oil. My rural mailman uses them on his oil and his Nissan Pathfinders. His engines are at 400,000 plus miles. Damn, man. Cousin Mike saying I use my goggles to hijack Bear Rose's live stream. He's in California buying more rainbow shirts and Joe Biden hats. Chris Sanders is saying had to try everything. It clogged 31 oil filters before it was finally over. Damn, son. All I'm saying, I like dumped seafoam in a little bit before my second oil change on the Volvo. Then I just put normal in. Yeah, here and there, you know what I mean? When you first get a car or after, you know, certain points, I feel like it's good to, you know, flush it out, but, you know, not excessively. Donna Leberton saying I use 10W30 Kubota diesel oil now in my old engines. I used to put additives in my high compression 389, but not anymore. They're known for heat problems, but not anymore. 10 millimeters short. Oh my God, I was laughing so damn hard. My supervisor, my coworker supervisor at work, he's English is a second language for him, so he said he popped out of no, he like pops his head out and he's like, "Where's the socket 10?" And I was like, the socket 10. He's like, "Don't make fun of my English, man. Where's the?" And I was like, La Socket 10, pasa la Socket 10. So now it's forever the Socket 10. That's sort of saying if you don't actually want to use seafoam, you could always drive your car fast. But yeah, pasa la Socket 10. I was pretty happy with that. La Socket 10. Oh man. All the same, we do something like that with pens and pencils. It's like electrons. You must fill all the places pens might disappear to with other pens. Then your pens may stay put. Genius. Absolute genius. But yeah, I think the 2050 will make her happy. If it doesn't, then I'll buy different oil. Yeah, at zero, La Saca 10. Yeah, he says shit like that. It's so funny. Like, don't make fun of my English. I'm like, what? I didn't say anything. It's just my face making fun of you because it does that sometimes. Mexican specs, and I've dropped something and not been able to find it. I drop another one and things to see where it lands and find the first one. It rarely works. To see their trajectory. At zero saying, don't make it funny. Yeah, the 10 mil doesn't go missing too much at work. The 8 and the 13 seem to go missing. Mike's car hole saying, someone found my 10 millimeter? It was deep. It was an archaeologist that actually found it. It's so weird not using my own tools at work, too. Provided tools. What a concept. Cousin Mike saying, Bear Rose's buddy thinks like a 7/16 is a 7 millimeter, 16 millimeter. Chris Sanders saying I had a 1990 Ranger 2.3 that had cracked piston rings on 2 cylinders and burn oil like crazy. Used to use 80/90 weight in it. Had zero saying you made your English funny. I was just there for it. Unfinished project saying a coworker once messed up and started to say Japanese. What he meant to say Japan, it resulted in Japan. We use this word regularly now whenever he's around. Japan. 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 All I'm saying, I used to walk to buy my ciggies. I found everyone's 10 millimeters and 9/16 wrenches for some reason. Cousin Mike's got a pillowcase full of 10 millimeters. Dada Leberton saying a half-inch was the common missing until they switched to millimetric. Mike's car hole saying I paint all of mine pink, easy to find, and no one will steal them. Mike, I'm right with you there, man. I like those Snap-on high visibility tools. I was pretty damn tempted to buy them just because I'm so blind I'll lose track. Mopar man saying 10 millimeter keychain accessory. At zero saying seen a new sticker, non-binary. That's actually funny. Mexican spec saying Chris Sanders, I bought a brand new Ranger in 1993 that leaked oil like crazy. Ford said it was normal. Buff Del Campo saying provided tools. Do they provide enough of the right tools? Buff, yes. Yes, they do. And I mean, I'm just astonished by it. I tell them, I'm like, you get like my managers, supervisors, whatever the hell you want to call them. If I come up to them with a tool request or suggestion, as long as it's not something completely ridiculous, they get it for us. It's the strangest thing in the world. I was like, "Hey, do you mind getting us some tube nut crow's foot wrenches? I don't want to mar any fittings." 2 days later, we had them. I mean, just what else? The a set of extensions, a couple extra electric ratchets. I mean, it's sockets, combo. Like I mean, whatever anything I've asked for has shown up, and it's. I'm honestly astonished by it. Like where in the world is management listening, much less getting something done? It's kind of cool. All I'm saying, I don't know why 9/16, but that's what I kept finding. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying the trick is to buy an extra socket at garage sales and estate sales. I have lots of extra sockets. Nathan, that's how I got like 5 half-inch wrenches just in the truck alone. Danny Boyd saying 5/16 is a 10 millimeter ish socket for the SAE box. Steve Austin saying 10 millimeter is 3/8. Ryan, I'm saying, did I hear that correctly? I think I'm tripping out. Exactly, man. Chris Cadman saying, I did that with my wrenches so my dirt bike pals could not steal them. They painted their tools the same color. Assholes. Donna Leberton is saying, oh, 9/16 is the only wrench I need to take. Oh, 58 Meteor Rideau Fairlane 500 Canadian version apart. 9 bolts. I take the whole front off. Daniel Strayer saying, slide a dime and a 7/16 equals 10 millimeter. Yes. Cousin Mike just ordered non-binary stickers. Non-binary. That's pretty classic. Buff Del Campo saying we had huge problems with provided tools working at the defense contractor. Example, we had one 7/16 wrench. I wanted a second one in the box. The stupid manager would tell me to learn to share. Yeah, luckily none of that, Buff. I really, I mean, there are enough tools to where we could split up and technically make 3 sets of tools if we needed to. But it there's the one issue is we got one older dude who works with us who doesn't want to look for anything, so he just starts, if he sees something that you have, he's like, "You have this. Why are you holding the tools hostage?" But it's fun. It just gives me more room to make fun of him. Dad 66 is in the chat saying, "Ari, I saw you on UTG." Yeah, man, he had us on for Thanksgiving, which was really fun. It's always nice to talk to him, and Kiwi's a badass too. At Zero was there. Dean's saying that's so insensitive, Landon. You really need to get in touch with your feminine side. Non-Biden. What have we done? Mexican spec saying I'm typing with one hand while I have a mosquito zapper in the other. Good old Mexican spec. Most of the mosquitoes have died off, thankfully, out here. Mike Ginn saying I forget, why is John Wilbur no longer a mod, or is he? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess technically he still is. He doesn't really come around much. There was the incident with the first No Name Nationals and Mr. Will. Um, it was kind of an interesting thing. Just kind of a falling out more than anything, I guess. Bad 66 saying, all right, it's so cool to see you like the 50s, early 60s trucks. We have a lot in common. Yeah, we sure do, brother. Cut from a similar cloth. That last video I did is actually my buddy's uncle, Jim. I've done a video about him before. He's the one who gave me that tool for the Delco distributors on the stove bolts. But that's his 58 Chevy pickup. I think he's had since the early 70s. And it's just funny because we're both helping, his nieces and nephews move, my friends. We're both helping him move, and he's got a 58 Apache, and I've got a 60 Apache. So I had to do a little short of it, Apache Moving Services. We can get your crap wherever you need it. whatever. I don't remember what I said, but in his 58 Apache, he's got the exact same drivetrain I've got. He's got a 350 and an SM420. And I was laughing because when he first saw my truck, it still had the stove bolt in it, and then he sees it again and it's got the same drivetrain as his. So it was kind of a cool time. Donna Leberton saying, I think I have a full set in each of my cars, van, Winnebago tractor, motorcycle, plus my garage, and I keep looking for them. Endless, man. Endless. Chris Sanders saying, I need a set of headers that will fit this Lincoln. These cast manifolds are junk. It's straight piped and it's still super quiet. Nathan's Mopar Garage is saying, we don't need no drama. We don't need no stinking drama. No, we don't. Mad 66 saying, forward look rules. Building 57 Plymouth. You got more subscribers. Inches since UTG Live. I'm trying so hard to get 2,000 myself. Yeah, I think I did get a few. I know I got a few off of that last, one of the last shorts I did. But it's all around the same time, so it's hard to tell. I would assume most people who would subscribe off of UTG's channel have already subscribed. I've been doing the show for a while after his, and I'm kind of a fixture around those live streams. Not as much maybe the last 6 months or so, but generally I'm always in his live streams. Tavo Garage is in the chat. It's tight ass valley, Dramamine. Yeah, no drama is pretty good for me. You know what I mean? I'm not one to. I don't really like arguing on YouTube. Anytime I do even feel obligated to defend myself or anything like that, I'm like, just shut up. You know what I mean? You're pretty much going to be yelling at an old man, so. Pat 66 is saying, "Ari reminds me of a news reporter lost in the 60s in his past life." Apache Moving Services. Dakota's timeout saying, yeah, there for a little while. I spent less time on the lives too. Denny Boyd saying, I'm a tight ass Corolla owner. Zero saying, I ain't putting no tree fitty and no Loch Ness monster. Le Breton. I don't even know if I think you say the R different. You say like, I don't know. Yeah, I got some Corolla parts over here. Dan, I got some crap that I bought when I got myself a cheesy little PCV, and I got an exhaust donut. Yay! Front wheel drive. Great to work on. Great times. Yes, Le Breton. That's It's a really cool name. Cousin Mike's been throwing around snow with the Geo. I saw that video, man. I have to support your channel, but I can't support the Geo tracker. So you got me torn with that kind of stuff. I'm just kidding. That thing's rad. He turned like a straight up junkyard throwaway kind of car into a dependable rig. Mike N saying exhaust donut, just weld that. Yeah, pretty much. At Zero saying front wheel drive. Yeah, I'm just into chicks, dude. No worries. No worries. Mopar man, I remember that episode, Mopar man. There's fog on the moors. Just weld that bitch. Problem solved forever. Yeah, she's getting loud, man. It kind of bugs me. I've got the exhaust manifold gasket somewhere as well. I've got the donut. I'm just gonna go through it. I mean, I don't know what is it, 17 years, 260,000 miles. I guess she needs a little bit of love. It's a funny little car, man. Like I said, it doesn't need much, but at Zero saying just found that to be my best answer for dude. LS swap it. No, I'm just into chicks, dude. At Zero's got the answers. Yeah, the Corolla's getting noisy. I was hearing not a lot, nothing dramatic, but a little bit of timing chain slap. So I replaced the tensioner and I replaced the valve cover gasket while I was doing that. But I kind of ran out of time, and the PCV hose was just brittle as all hell. So I was like, okay, I'll pop over to the parts store and get another one. And yeah, it's like a special order part. So I had to order it. It's like the most generic car ever. PCV hose. I guess it's a hose with a reduction. Problem solved forever. What did I miss here? LS swap, leaning slant. Yes. Weld that donut. Weld the donut. Oh God, John, don't stir it up over here, man. Southern man, better hang your head. Oh man. At Zero saying found some chrome valve covers. I guess it's time. I'm 50. That's when it starts, right? Chrome everything. At Zero's got, yeah, I guess that'd look good on 318. Why not? Why not? Dan saying, Ari, you're south of John, I believe. Damn. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the show you've been waiting for. Tops has him hanging on the wall, at Zero says. Buff saying, I want to take all the chrome off my 350 Chevy. Buff, that's kind of how I was feeling, you know what I mean? I just like the Chevy orange. I ended up running the chrome valve covers because Hubie's son gave them to me. The original valve covers I had on the 350 didn't fit. They didn't have the clearance to fit the way, the traditional way that this engine's mounted. So I just ran the chrome Edelbrock valve covers. But again, that's just the whole thing's basically a damn Band-Aid. You know what I mean? I got that damn that six broke, and I just had to get it together. So, but yeah, I wouldn't mind just the scripted Chevrolet valve covers, and I think that'd be a nice look. I just like the paint. Back up some chrome valve covers. Been outside like 10 years, no rust. Yeah, cousin Mike. If cousin Mike's got it, it's probably holding up well. Unfinished projects, saying like a clean, dressed out engine bay. Yeah, best you can. I'm kind of a slob. You guys see my truck. I just roll the damn thing around. Danny Boyd saying plain chrome valve covers, like on a big block Chevy or on a large high-end Pontiac V8. Chrome for a small block Mopar, huh? Buffdale Compost saying that 350 will go onto my Studebaker Lark. They had small block Chevy engines in Larks, and the valve cover stickers are still available. Nice. You need a carb buff? I got a vacuum secondary 750 that this phone's sitting on. And Zero saying Nathan like the old record store days. I don't want some lame to buy them, so they're mine. Like to paint everything. Yeah, some paint looks good, you know what I mean? Always wanted the crinkle black Mickey Thompson valve covers. Cousin Mike saying it's hard to find quality anymore. Yeah, and it sucks, Mike, because you collect all the older stuff, so you see things in their original form, and then you're like, oh, okay, cool, they still make this. And then you buy the reproduction and you compare it to the original form, and it's just there's always some discrepancy. It's always slightly off. Chris Sanders saying I got chrome valve covers off eBay for 45 bucks. They look fantastic, but leak like crazy. They're made wrong. Well, that's kind of a bummer. Chris Cadman saying graft some Ford valve covers on it to mess with people. Buff is saying the 350 has an Edelbrock carb. It's probably the smarter way to go. Dean saying I figured I have no class at all, Olive. It's hard to prove anything. I've just described the non-binary with my 24-year-old daughter. She said I could use it. I could use some class too. I'm sincerely sorry. Donna Leberton saying, Valpan, you want the Moroso old school look. Gold ones. Yeah, that like zinc coating on there. I like that a lot. I have a Moroso air cleaner, but I've got Edelbrock valve covers. So, I mean, I'm all over the place, I guess. I guess I could find some Moroso valve covers or again, I really just like the scripted Chevrolet ones a lot. But Adzero saying it's going to piss people off on his grandma car. That car really was meant to take people to church. It's one of those cars. It's definitely one of those cars. Dan saying blue anodized valve covers. Go full 90s on my rig. Dean saying FE 427 glass valve covers, air fuel. Spark on Facebook. Oh, poor man, still talking about that. Mexican's big, right? Pop the hood. Dave Lewis is saying the new Edelbrock Victor Jr. small block Chevy intake is almost 20 horsepower down from the old one. That sucks, Dave, because I really like those Victor Juniors. I was tempted. I really wanted to run one of those or an air gap, but I just didn't have access to one at the time. I had an Edelbrock, the RPM, the high rise, but I ended up selling that, and then I ran this Offenhauser 360, which I feel like is kind of a better fit for my purposes. Mike saying, okay, abort, abort. You see, Mike? You see? You see what happened? I'm just kidding, man. It's a it's a reasonable question. It's a reasonable ponder. Mexican specs and opinions. Are there truly any beautiful new cars out there today? Beautiful? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to find anything that really catches my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, look at that. You know, Dean saying the Cybertruck. I don't know, Mexican spec. Dave Lewis is saying haven't had an air gap on the dyno yet. Yeah, Dave. I don't. I've never run one myself. My buddies both had Victor Juniors when we were younger that they ran, and they got good results with them. So, like Ken saying, I'll use six pack. No worries, man. Zero saying Alfa Romero. Julia. Uh, eh, eh, maybe. Those Alpha. I don't really like those Alphas much, or the Maseratis. They're kind of. I mean, they're all right looking. I don't know. I don't see anything that pops out to me. If I was going to buy a new car, I'd probably get a Ram with a Cummins. And that's not a car, that's a truck. I think that says a lot about me. All of a sudden, I want an Alfa Romeo GT V6. My rational object of car love. Brian, I'm saying I did not care if I went to the LA Auto Show. Not really, no. I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to choose. I mean, some of the newer Porsches I like. Um, there's not much I can think of really. Unfinished has got 15 minutes left on the turkey. Nice, man. Mexican spec is saying, I will admit the new Ram truck is gorgeous to me. I stare at them when I see them, which isn't often here. Yeah, I would really like probably like a nice 2500. Yeah, I really wouldn't mind. It's got to have the Cummins. A Ram with a Hemi is kind of sad to me. To me. Buff saying the BMW i8 looks pretty good. That's a funky car too. Mexican spec. What about the Panamera? At Zero saying, Aldram, I want to stare at them. Even the base is nice looking. Brian's asking unfinished project if he smoked the turkey. Mexican spec saying we don't have Cummins trucks here. I might have been tripping. Abel D's in the chat. He's saying I want the Grenadier. I don't even know what that is. Abel, I have to look that up. Pardon messy timing. Aforementioned shoulder medication. As long as you're all right, Olive. I thought I was tripping, but I'm pretty sure I saw a Nissan truck, a Nissan pickup with a Cummins badge, which I don't know if I would ever want to own a Nissan, but just the same, like that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? You get a Nissan. What is it? What's the big one called? Titan, a Titan or whatever with a Cummins diesel. Unfinished. You don't have a smoker? We got to make you a smoker, man. I really want to make one myself once I get a backyard to put it in. Uh, just a nice barrel smoker. I really want to weld X pipes on the smoker just to be an ass. All I'm saying, sometimes Nissan people stick inappropriate badges on. Saying Jared had one of those and had to give it up because he couldn't find parts for it. It was Tavarish's partner. Able D saying the Grenadier picked up where Land Rover dropped the ball. I'm going to have to check it out. Danny Boyd saying more than half of the people you see driving pickup trucks do not ever need a pickup truck. Yeah, see, I feel like I could probably make really good use of it. You know what I mean? Towing cars around, and I would need a trailer definitely. I think it'd be kind of cool. Do like semi-local hot rod transport, save people a couple bucks. Dada Lebreton is saying, just got an early D200 360 thermoquad carb for 40 bucks. I found out it was a 780 CFM. I thought the smog era would have been much smaller unless 780 CFM was. We'll wait for the other half of that. Buff Docampo saying, I don't like these huge pickups. Nah, Buff, they're a little bit much, but I mean, finding one that's semi-reasonable. Like the fleet sized, you know what I mean? Just the normal regular cab and everything's not too bad. 780 sounds big for a 360. Maybe. I don't know. Uncle Tony's thing is always saying, double your cubic inches for your CFM, which, is kind of just a rough estimate. You could go lower, but Pico 67 SS is in the chat. What's going on, brother? He's saying Cummins designed a V8 for Ram 1500, got bought by Fiat, and then went with the Eco Diesel. Nissan took the Cummins 8. Gnarly. The Chico Diesel, man. Not a bad engine, but it just seems kind of like underkill for that big of a truck, man. All I'm saying, I tend to need a pickup trucks unless I'm not presently able to fill that pickup truck. At Zero saying Tom Hanks is about to get his nuts cured. Green Mile. Dean saying Giocatolo Group B, Alfa Romeo's Alpha Suit, Alfacid, Sprint Group B replica, formerly a 3-liter Gorlami, Busso V6 variant, the Alps SUD, with a 5-liter Holden V8 Pantera gearbox. Unfinished project saying Pantera's box. Y'all are talking about foreign cars. Chris, the weather has been mellow, man. It's kind of warm during the day. Some cold mornings, but it's been much better. I like this time of year because it doesn't get hot as hell. 60 degrees is good for me, and when it's 85, pretty much all the time, it gets a bit much. 6% saying hello, Vertical Ari. What's going on, 6%? I got to stream off my phone like a heathen. Danny Boyd saying 780 sounds like what you'd want on a 440. Buff Del Campo saying we took the Valiant for a ride last night on an old dark road. A huge pickup coming the other way had 4 extremely bright lights. Couldn't see anything. Just holding on and stay to the right. I'm right with you there, Buff. I get blinded by a lot of people. And what I'll do is I'll just turn the lights off to prove a point. I'll just black it out on the truck. Like, all right, like I don't need anything. Why do you need such bright lights? I know it's illegal, but Tabo Garage is saying ideal Nissan recipient for a Cummins is the Nissan 1200 Ute. Mike N saying diesel talk. I'm gonna go clip my toenails. Dean saying Dada, it's basically a quadrajet with a Motorcraft 4300D with huge CFM, but nice small primaries, great composite carb. Spencer's Drink Reviews and Chugs is in the chat. Howdy, Spencer. Dada Libertana saying 780 CFM was not big for a 1983 60 smog engine. My 66 389 4-barrel Carter 325 horsepower is only 625 CFM. Or Dada saying 780 was big. Yeah, it does seem kind of big. Sand Mountain Ballistics is in the chat. What's going on, Hunter? Pico 67SS is saying Banks stuck a tuned eco diesel in an early 2000s GMC dually and it was stronger and more efficient than the factory Duramax. The eco diesel had issues with pressed on cam gears losing time. Oh shit, that's pretty cool. All of a sudden, I hate a lot of those new truck lights. Also, why do they have to look weird and confusing about turn signals? Yeah. Buff is saying bright is okay, out of adjustment is terrible. Yeah, just blinding everybody. Dean saying CFM is basically a variable industry standard. There is give and take to what 720 CFM wet flow is versus 800 CFM Carter flow. Any CFM can work if you have a metering rod carb like the thermoquad. Danny Boyd saying, I've been bitching about headlights for 20 years now, ever since the Acura, which came out about then. I forget the model. The very offensive headlights. Hunter saying, my Pontiac 389 has two 600 CFM Edelbrocks on it. And that thing gets really good gas mileage. Oh man, Hunter, you got that car tuned well though. I mean that probably wasn't an overnight thing. That's awesome, man. I use a lot less gas with this V8. That six was just sucking it down. I guess she was tired and hungry. Okay, seeking a non-being imaginary. A little bit about yes, guys. Wilson Combat was the right way to go for my 1911 mags. Flawless so far. Not even that pricey. Nice, Olive. I'm very. I'll probably maybe I'll get myself something for Christmas. Probably get my Model 29 finally. Get my Dirty Harry on. Danny Boyd saying it'd be cool to have smart mirrors to deploy against two bright lights. Yeah. Hunter saying, listen to the spark plugs. Speak to the wind. Speak to the wind, Hunter. Mike N saying, yeah, I don't like the new lights. Seems like they're overly bright and they don't light over the road as well as the old lights, or maybe my eyes are just old and shot. At least it took you getting old, Mike. My eyes have been shot since like third grade, man. Hunter saying I've noticed a lot. I've noticed six-cylinder motors of that time just use as much or more gas than the V8s. Chris Sanders is saying I get about 22 miles per gallon on the highway, 16 around town. Brian, I was asking if I can handle the power of the Dirty Harry. Olive saying I can shoot those Dirty Harry revolvers, but trying to wear one is comical to me. Yeah, I got to do the whole chest thing. Chris Cadman's asking if it's legal to drive with no pants on interstate, and how do you know? Wendy English is in the chat. What's going on, Wendy? I didn't realize how crooked this thing's getting. Let's compensate for it. Hunter saying I've been wanting a Model 29 and a shoulder holster. Wouldn't it be classic, Hunter? I mean, just especially in this day and age where it's like everybody's got some composite crazy carry pistol. It's like no, 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 no. In a shoulder holster, the butt of it would get into the room much sooner than the boobs. Dada Leberton is saying our 68 440 cubic inch 500 horsepower Charger had a Holly 750 double pump. I needed an extra electric pump to feed it on the drag strip. It would go short of fuel halfway of the quarter mile from 10 to 0 miles per gallon in a second. Add zero saying if you're pushing your six to keep up, then it's not saving gas. Putting around just fine, but freeway, cruising. Yeah, it was just sucking down gas. It wasn't really conducive to the way I have to drive around here, which is kind of a shame, you know what I mean? I was always hoping to find somewhere that was more suitable to the truck, but I haven't gotten the chance, so. Mike N saying, drive with no pants, they call that Porky Piggin back in the day. Porky Pig never had pants. Yeah, I don't know. I think, I don't know. Obviously, for the dart, you know, I'll stick with the slant six just because that's what she's made for, but my six-cylinder ventures might be over. As sad as that is to admit. I do love inline six sounds, though. Beautiful thing. This thing's tilted again. Let's see if I can fix it. Let's see. Can it be done? Will it be done? Can it be done? Come on, carburetor. Hold my phone. Yeah. Mike N saying, gross? Yes, but so funny going through the drive-thru. Hunter, I got the notification for the video, but I was driving all day. I didn't get a chance to watch it. Chris Sanders saying, I've been working on my broken fingers. Now I can bend it about 45 degrees. Hey, that's an improvement, man. Chris Cadman saying, leaning power of power, the mighty 225. Wendy's just shopping for sneakers for work. Nice. Unfinished project has finished his turkey. Whew, excuse me, guys. I'll probably go. Nope, don't do it. Nope. This thing's going to slide somewhere. It's going to find its own. You'd think by now I would have just fixed the laptop, but I'm one of those procrastinating folks, so it'll be a while. Kid Keel and the Coconuts? Kid Creole and the Coconuts. That's a good one. Say that 5 times fast. Kid Creole and the Coconuts. Cha-cha-cha. Wendy's saying, don't do that crap, Ari. Brian M. saying he offered to help me with that. He did offer to help me with that. I haven't even tried it out yet. You know what I was thinking, Brian, is before I bothered you with it, I was just going to plug the Ethernet in just to see if that would kind of help the issue somewhat. Do you think that's stupid? I don't know. Chris Sanders, it's 390 gears in the truck. Dickie Farley's just smiling. He says Sunday. Sunday. Sand Mountain Ballistics is saying transmission needs a little work in fourth gear. Let me see if I can read that better. The engagement gears are boogered up and missing some teeth, so I'm going to have to buy a second gear input shaft. That's going to be fun. A little bit of gearbox work. Brian M. saying try it. What is the worst thing that could happen? Yeah, definitely. Maybe I'll try it again. You know, I'll do a test stream with it this week because it would be a little more pleasant than the vertical me. Score for the Mustang. Donna Lebreton is saying, think about your kids. Will they be able to drive a 10-mile-per-gallon car in the future? That's why I got my eyes on a 76 slant 6 four-door Dart around my town. Rust or press ate all the cars left around. Yeah, yeah, Darren. I mean, I got the Dart. I got a Super 6 for it though. So I mean, I feel like it'll kind of get a little. I feel like the BBD is a better carb altogether than that little what is it, the Holly 1620 that they put on the slant sixes. I feel like it's a better carb. I feel like she'll breathe a little bit better, so I might get some of that mid-range, somewhere in the middle, you know what I mean, to where it's not an overworked small carburetor and it's not an overkill large carburetor. So I mean, I feel like it'd be better. I don't know. I could be deluding myself. Abel D is asking what happened to Dallas. Dallas just uploaded a video. He does his tech talk every Wednesday with Shane Polito. But he's been doing well as far as I know. He was having some family trouble, but it happens to all of us. And he seemed to get past that pretty well, and he's kicking ass, man, same as ever. Dallas is Dallas. But he just uploaded a video. It was something about saving paint on something or another. I saw the notification, but again, I was driving all damn day, so I haven't looked at my YouTube much. Mexican Spec saying Uncle Dad is playing his guitar, so that means he's finishing up. Mike N saying Bill Cosby was the greatest comedian in history. Even his drinks taste funny. Damn. Chris Cadman saying my Gretsch 12-string tore half my fingernail off the other day. I'm starting to hate that guitar. Tavo saying BBD for all sixes. All right. 1920 Holly. Yeah. Whoa. This thing's gone wild. She's gone wild. Hell. I wonder what side I could put it in. I think this side would be better. Oh, yeah. That actually works really well. Cool. Dan saying the AHRA channel's on hiatus, so he doesn't put up videos there, I guess. Yeah, Dean saying Professor P and Dallas do a live tech night. They do it Wednesday night. I think it's either before or during Tony's live. So you might have been missing it because you're watching Tony's Tech Talk. But I really like Shane and Dallas's Tech Talk. There's always some good information to be had. Hunter saying I scored a 4-speed top loader and some louvers. Badass. Yeah, Mr. Rodder's Neighborhood, Abel. That's the one he's been working on. And like I said, I don't know about how his uploads have been, but he's still got great videos. He still uploads when he can do so. I was watching a couple of his Quadrajet videos that kind of opened my eyes a little bit to the ever elusive Quadrajet. Chris Sanders saying, Chris Cabin, I've always wanted a Sensonics Terminator. Those were designed by Fred Gretsch. I have to look that up. I think if I could choose now that all the dust is settled, I would just want one of the old like Silvertone acoustic arch tops. I really want one. They're not expensive guitars either. It's hard for me to justify spending on a guitar. Needs to get spent on the truck, really, in reality. Danny Boyd says Fender Telecaster. Yeah, I mean, yeah. It's like probably the greatest guitar ever made, damn near. And I know I say it a lot on my live streams, but I really like early Fender stuff because it was made in Santa Ana, which is local. It's where I lived for a long time. And then later on, Leo Fender I think Santa Ana got too expensive, so he moved his shop over to Fullerton. But the early The early Fender stuff was made right here in Santa Ana, California. So it's like I think about that, like maybe the guitar Buddy Holly was playing and stuff like made here, like that's kind of random, you know what I mean? Santa Ana, the self-proclaimed Golden City. Message is held for review. What do we got? Danny Boyd saying got a couple of Japanese neck bastard strats, nice. Olive saying love the Telecaster sound, could not justify the purchase because I'm bad at music for the most part. I'm right with you, Olive. At Zero saying, but we're singers now. We don't eat shit. Donna Libertana saying my 79 my 79 Winnebago has a 71 truck 318 in it. The one with coolant flowing intake and the two barrel BBD, 237 small chamber head, 727 and 456 gears. I get 60 miles per gallon from that 15,000 pound brick. That's really awesome. I mean, I guess that's a real, I mean, it was meant to be. It's kind of one of those efficient setups. It sounds like complete underkill, but you got an old Sunburst Strat, Chris? That's badass. Mexican spec saying, Buff Del Campo, your item arrived at our USPS facility in Nashville, Tennessee distribution center. You ordered something from Mexican spec? Oh, a license plate? What did you get? Something cool? Tail lights? All of a sudden, I got this old Ovation kicking around waiting for me to find strings. Those are nice guitars. They're totally a church guitar, though. Chris Anderson, I got a Matsumoto Memphis Strat that sounds excellent. Dan saying I rarely play anymore. All of a sudden, I have an old Ibanez Sunburst bass, loved it. Oh, had an old. Mexican spec saying you got side marker lights for the Valiant. Nice. Mexican spec, you got to start making the 64 dart tail lights, man. Dust Devil Garage is in the chat. Says, what up? What's going on, brother? How are you? Falling asleep over here, Dust Devil. These poor people are watching me finally just lean down, sleep. You're getting very sleepy. Obviously, I had to glue and peg the head on this Ovation back together. That must have been some work, Olive. Mexican spec saying, I need an order for 30,000 units before they will make a new item. Can you get the orders? Yeah. Buff Del Campo saying, I have to make sure I'm here because it requires a signature. Buff, you're going to get the wrong package. Mexican spec accidentally sent you the kidney that he meant to send to Nicaragua. Mike Ken saying, I have a Fender American Deluxe Jazz bass and a PV Fury P bass. The J bass really is nice, Mike. It's such a good. Dust Devil, yeah, we're talking guitars, brother. Everybody had some cool stuff, man. At Zero saying, I'm not sure if I'm working tomorrow. My choice. I'm definitely working tomorrow. It's gonna suck, but I'm working. Roto Sound flat wounds on the J bass. That's unique, man. That's probably a great sound. I'm saying somewhat I tried to learn music. Only way I could afford it was to fix that was broken and trade around. Yep. Buff Del Campo saying maybe I'll use the kidney. Lemon, making lemonade. Buff Del Campo making lemonade. Oh man. Oh, I'm an ass. Mexican spec saying I'm going to sell up a page to sell the Mexican plates. Nice, man. I'd be stoked to buy one. Chris Sanders saying I need a guitar teacher. Me too, Chris. Chris saying I just got a new Gretsch Try 5, cream and gold. Nice. Swing 66. Place the buyer. The Mexican specs, and I gave 2 plates to the buyer of the Beetle. It said for sale on 2 styles of Mexican plates. Unfinished projects saying I enjoy listening to Justin Johnson play guitar. I'm unenlightened, unfinished. I'm going to write it down though. If it sucks, I'll make sure you hear about it. Cat, no one wants to hear you. I'm just kidding, buddy. Everybody wants to hear you. What's up? Do you not have enough food? What's wrong, buddy? You old and ornery? Come on. No. Oh, you little bastard. You got away too fast. Alba's in the chat. What's going on, Al? Buffalo Campo saying I have a huge license plate collection, but no Mexican plates. Chris Cadden saying I have cheap guitars that sound great. Paul's out for the night saying good night, everybody. Gotta go. Thanks so much, Paul. Always appreciate you stopping through, and hope you have a great week, brother. Be safe out there. Make sure to check your fluids, man. Chris Sanders saying Ari and the Chevettes won't sound that great if the guitarist can't play. Mike N saying played bass for 10 years, but trombone is what got me into music school. I mean, that's... I like both a bunch, you know what I mean? Like I said, I got a lot of respect for any brass instrument, and then and the bass too. A good bassist is like legendary. Most of the bands I listen to, I realize that there's some kind of incredibly talented bassist and drummer. I've been on a Joy Division kick lately again, and it kind of explains that a little bit, right? Donna Leberton saying Mexican specs. I got 16 MPG without water in the tanks. I have read about those 318 cubic inch D600 truck engines, and they were able to get around 20 to 22 miles per gallon. Filled up box. Gnarly. Absolutely gnarly. That little engine. And that must be fun on a grade, though. Just a little 2-barrel 318 moving an RV. Mexican specs in Buff Del Campo. I have a worn Sinaloa police plate that I got from a junkyard. I might get in trouble for sending it to you, though, as I'm not supposed to have it. Buff Del Campo saying most of the plates are used. The rear plates are usually in good condition. I like the old ones. Dan saying I'd got taught a few bar chords and then learned on my own for 10 years or so. My chops weren't that good, but my ear is quite good. Nice, man. Chris Cadman saying, Buff, I have a place in 1967 Canadian Centennial plates. Mike N saying, Ari and the Chevettes, I love it. It'll be great until General Motors sends C&D. All the same, Joy Division was among the first bass lines I tried to learn because people wanted bassists. Me with no internal sense of time probably was never bass material. Add Zero's crashing out. Add Zero, be safe, brother. Check your fluids. Yeah. Well, you know what, guys? I'll probably go ahead and call it a night pretty soon here as well. I'm fading quickly, and got a couple more things to do before the night ends. Buff Del Campo saying my favorite plates are the 56 California plates. I have to look them up. Olive's saying everyone wanted me in their band because of how I looked in poetry. That's pretty rad. I didn't know you wrote poetry, Olive. I read it. I don't write it. Cease and desist. Donna Leberton saying those number 237 small chamber heads make a lot of torque. The coolant in the intake keep the top of the engine cold. I guess it makes a big difference in fuel efficiency. All right, that makes sense. Al saying orange with black numbers. Or gold with black letters? And they went to black with gold letters. Nice. I have to look it up. Buff saying I have several sets of the 56 California plates. One set is almost perfect. Yeah, like I said, I like them. Anytime I'm in like a, somewhere that's got them on display. I don't know anyone personally that has a big plate collection, but they're still really rad. There was a box of plates at the last shop I was working at, and one of them was a Washington plate with, it said 949 GTFO. And the area code down here in South Orange County is 949. So I looked at it, and it was Washington, which is where I want to move, and then 949, get the F out. So I wanted to take those, but I never did. Abel saying, have a good evening. I'm going to continue updating the brakes on my ambulance for Power Tour 23. Oh, yeah, I'll be checking them fluids. Don't forget your pilot. Baron Mike says, you saw that video, Mike? Oh, man. I'm a mechanic. I swear it. Oh, I'm an idiot. But yeah, guys, I appreciate everybody coming through. It was a really solid live stream. It was fun. I hope everybody has a great night, a great week. Be safe out there. Try to be kind to each other. Let's not let's set aside our differences, people, to whom it may concern. No, I'm just kidding. But everybody, yeah, I appreciate you so much. Have a great week. And above all, make sure to check your fluids. Reverend Randall, thanks so much for stopping in, brother. Brother. Thanks so much for stopping in, brother. Can't even speak. Look at me. I'm going to call it a night. Thanks, everybody. Check your fluids.